Man, I done watched that Nickelodeon documentary. Only thing I could really think, if there was one thing I had to point out, they didn't cover bad parenting at all. What you mean your 5-year-old had a passion for acting? What you mean your 7-year-old just really wanted to be in movies? Don't get me wrong, I mean, it's healthy to support your kids' dreams, but at that age, if you go outside and dig worms every day with your kid, they gonna have a passion for worms. If you cook or you change clothes and you very into fashion, they're gonna cook or be very into fashion. Don't even get me started. You know we got the pageant parents out here. Got people pimping out their kids on social media and otherwise. And back then, it wasn't no different. These was a bunch of people living vicariously through their children, just like a lot of you demonic people do. It's unfortunate for the children. But what I'm saying is, if my child is doing something and they having fun and they enjoying themselves and they expressing themselves through art, let's say in the form of acting, the minute that environment becomes stressful and abusive for my child, it's over with. If they got a best friend that you know ain't no good for them and you tell them to stop hanging with their best friend, I'm sure that breaks their heart too. But you're the parent. You're the parent. Now, one thing I can say, if you watch the documentary, it was one dad in particular. And unfortunately, his son experienced like worst case scenario. It's unfortunate, like it's sad to hear. But notice, a key point I want y'all to pick up from that Drake Bell story. There was a disconnect between the parents. The father was very, very, very protective of his son. He was watching him. He had an eye on it. He saw things a certain way. And sometimes fathers pick up on stuff like that. On the other hand, sometimes mothers pick up on stuff like that. And that's why it's important for the child's best interest that the parents get along and communicate effectively. So people like this, predators, predator, they prey. They're predators. Bro, she was leaving this boy with this man for weeks at a time. Your child with a grown adult for weeks at a time. Not a family member, not weeks at a time. That's crazy. Your child? I just don't get it. And I don't know what conversation could be had by anybody at a studio to make me be like, oh yeah, I trust y'all with the well-being of my child. So I don't know. Maybe they need to redo the documentary. We need to get more into these parents. We need to get more into these families. And as parents, we need to look at ourselves, man. Like, you got to create that environment for your child, or you put them in jeopardy, you put them in danger, you make them more vulnerable. We got internet, we got all this stuff going on nowadays. You make your child even more vulnerable when you and your co-parent ain't seeing eye to eye, when your child don't have a good foundation. Mama, grandma, daddy, his mama, auntie, uncle. The more that they got, the better off they gonna be. Because who else gonna love them like y'all do? Who else can you trust with them except for y'all? Or should be able to. But I don't know, man. It was heartbreaking. I ain't gonna hold you. Especially me. I'm a 92 baby. I grew up with a lot of them shows. And, bro, it's crazy to see. I ain't watched it, go watch it. We gotta do better. Parents. Fudge Nickelodeon, Fudge Dan Schneider, parents. If we on one accord, if we really stick to the notion of what they say, take a village to raise a child, should nobody be out here doing it alone. And taking criticism and being willing to listen to other people don't make you a bad parent, it make you a better parent because you want to do better for your child. So don't be so defensive. I'm just throwing it out there. I don't know why I felt the need to say that. Good documentary. Yeah. Just like the R. Kelly trial, bro. We got to start holding these parents accountable. That's all I'm saying. Next time.